Hey there, Father Michael here. Yes, still got the dark glasses on because apparently the chemo cream is working and things are starting to get real. Anyway, Psalm 50, verse 15 says, "Call upon me in the day of trouble. I will deliver you, and you will glorify me." The COVID lockdown of a couple years ago continues to have some lasting effects on the way we operate in this world. There are still plastic shields at almost every checkout where I shop. There are still a few of us who wear masks in public, and when we gather in public places with a lot of people. And for myself, I only go out to eat once a week at the most, because when I realized at the end of the lockdown how much extra money I had in my checking account after, not being able to dine out during the lockdown, I decided that with the ridiculous inflated prices for food, particularly in restaurants, particularly even fast food, for God's sake, you can't find a combo meal for under $10. I decided that with all of that going on, and with the fact that, I am a trained sous chef, and I know how to cook, and I can cook healthier at home, I just decided to stop going out to eat, except for maybe once a week. But another effect of the COVID misadventure, and a more important one, I think, is that during that period of uncertainty, we suddenly realized as a nation that, we are unable to control very much of anything on our own. You already know, I, on a whim, decided Palm Sunday 2020 that I would go out to the street corner and give palms and communion to anybody who would stop, anybody who needed to. And I continued that practice for many months afterwards, and I learned to listen to the collective fears of parents and children, young adults, addicts, alcoholics who could barely pedal their bike down the street, would stop and chat. And literally, I met hundreds of people that I would otherwise never have met in this life. I'm still processing all of that because I think there's an important message there for me and for ministry in general. When we face fears and challenges, it seems to me that we also tend to find opportunities for some spiritual growth. We find opportunities where maybe we could surrender a little more deeply to our acknowledgement that we need God, that we depend on God, and maybe even fully embrace the idea that without God, nothing in this life makes any damn sense. I'm in the process of downsizing my life right now. It's been going on for a few weeks. Getting rid of all kinds of stuff that I have been collecting and hoarding and keeping, and why? Really, why? One of my ministries will close in the near future. I have resigned one of my part-time jobs, even though I love that job, and I am respected and well compensated, and I make a difference. But something needs to happen. Both of those things, in particular, the church and that working in the detox center, those are definitely part of who I am as a man. But like I said, something has to change if I'm going to take care of myself and take care of those I love more effectively and thoroughly. My daily prayer routine is also evolving as a result of this kind of downsizing mindset. I still say my morning prayers as always, but since I'm having some difficulty staying asleep again, I found that my canine companion, my brother in the canine world, Butch, is trying to teach me an important lesson on how to better trust in God's love. Butch sleeps in the bed with me, on me, actually. He likes to be in close proximity to me, and he curls up with his back to me for the entire night sometimes. Sometimes I have like a 6-inch sliver of mattress on the edge to cling to because he's so comfortable and feeling so loved and wanted that he's taking basically my whole spot. For him, the bed is his safe place. He knows he is loved and cherished. He knows he is perfectly safe. And he even makes little noises and sighs while he sleeps. Little moans of contentment that are so amazing. So amazing. Just little indications of his pleasure and his satisfaction of being in a loving home. Other times, he has to get up and move like many of us, have to wiggle around between the sheets. Other times he will use my ankles or my feet or my legs as pillows, which is not actually comfortable for either one of us. But instead of moving my feet or my ankles or whatever and get them out of the way, I've learned to just let him lie there because I know it's only going to be a few minutes before he realizes, well, this is not comfortable at all. I need to move my head. He will move because for him, sleeping jawbone on leg bone just isn't going to work long term. But even then, even as he's adjusting himself, he remains undisturbed, peaceful, content in the discomfort of the moment. Because when all is said and done, he knows I love him with all my heart and that I'm not going anywhere. That, then, is my new perspective on prayer. It's my new sleeplessness meditation during the night. I'm trying to be more like Butch. I'm trying to find some contentment and some peace even when I am not feeling particularly content or peaceful, when I am far from being at ease. I'm trying to rest in my own sadness and fear and uncertainty and even remorse. And so in my mind's eye, I envision myself as a dog, just like Butch, cuddling, curling up into the warmth of God's presence. And I pray very mindfully, very simply, really, that I will become more like Butch every day, that I will become comfortable in the warmth of God's embrace, even when I am not physically or emotionally comfortable in the moment. And that seems to be working for me, actually. And I've decided this is going to be the thing that I really focus on during Lent this year, which starts tomorrow. And I'm hoping that after 40 days of practice, maybe I can maintain that attitude for the rest of my days. Psalm 50 says basically that we need to call on God when we are in trouble, and that God is going to hear us and deliver us so that we can glorify God. That seems pretty clear to me. Pretty clear that whatever our existential reality of the moment is, God is always inviting us to reach out to him, to pray, to call upon him. And if we accept that simple invitation, we will find deliverance so that we can give God all the glory and praise. Because none of this falls to us to control. None of it. Now, to be sure, that deliverance from our God might not arrive on time from our perspective. It might not arrive in the manner in which we wanted it or expected it. Nonetheless, we will be delivered no matter what, because we have God's promise on that. And we have Butch's example of what trust and love really look like. Pray with me. Mighty loving God, thank you for the gift of life in this moment, and thank you especially for the gift of our canine brothers and sisters who show us in so many ways how we need to grow, where we need to direct our energies, and how we need to simply better take a breath, sigh, and rest in the comfort of your embrace. For all of those who are struggling today, we ask your blessing, and we ask that you guide us to those who need a kind word today, so that we might be Butch to them. We ask all this in the name of our brother and teacher, Jesus the Christ, the one who is, who was, and who is yet to be. Amen. Have a great